Hello everyone, welcome back to Storytime with Renu. Today I'm going to share with you the story of Ambi and how she found a home. This is a story I've written myself and I hope you enjoy it. There was once a huge mango tree growing in the garden of a house. In that house lived a little girl called Seema with her parents. One day when Seema came out, she called out to her mother, Ma, come here. When her mother came out, she said, Look, Ma, there are so many tiny mangoes on our tree. Yes, Seema, yes, there are lots, aren't they? Looks like this year we're going to get lots and lots of mangoes to eat. Yay! Amma promised me that you'll make lots of mango milkshake and mango ice cream for me. Of course I will, Seema. Haven't I been doing that all these years? Yummy, said Seema. After a few days had gone by, there was a huge storm. Rain pelted down, heavy winds blew, and all the trees in that garden danced and shook like demons. What do you think happened to that mango tree? All those tiny mangoes fell to the ground. So the next morning when Seema came out, she was very sad and started to cry. When her mother heard her cry, she came out. Seema, what's it? Look, Ma, all the tiny mangoes have fallen down to the ground. Now I won't get mango milkshake and ice cream. Yes, Seema, what to do? Remember that huge storm last night? But don't worry, this year we'll buy mangoes from outside. And next year, I'm sure we'll get lots of mangoes again from our tree. Okay. And so, the days went by. But what they didn't know was that right on top of that mango tree, hidden among the branches and the leaves, was one little mango. This little mango was very happy. Ma, I'm so happy I didn't fall down in that storm. I want to stay here always with you, said the mango. Oh my dear Ambi, that's not possible. You will start soon growing older, and once you become bigger, you won't stay green anymore. You will become a nice yellow. You will be ripe and sweet, and all the birds and the squirrels will come to eat you. Eat me? I don't like to be eaten. It will hurt, Ma. Well, it may hurt a little bit, but that's the way nature has made us. We are meant to be eaten by squirrels, by birds, and by humans. Don't worry, all your flesh will be eaten up. But there's something deep inside you, and that's your seed. And your seed will one day fall into the soil, and you will grow up into a big tree like me. Really, Ma? Yes, said her mother. And just as her mother had said, as the days went by, Ambi grew bigger and bigger and bigger. And one day, she was no longer green. She had turned a nice, beautiful yellow. And yes, she was ripe. And just as her mother said, birds started arriving. First there came a parrot and started nibbling away at Ambi. In the beginning it hurt Ambi a little bit, but soon she got used to it. Then came the sparrows, then came the babblers, and then came a couple of squirrels. And soon much of Ambi was eaten up. And one day, tap, she fell to the ground and landed on the soft soil below. But what she didn't know was that in that house there was a dog who loved mangoes. Ambi had thought that perhaps she would grow right here next to her mother, but that was not to be. That very same day, the dog was out in the garden, sniffing here, sniffing there, and soon smelt the ripe mango. Came running up, grabbed Ambi in her mouth, ran back towards the house, lay on the cement driveway and started to eat up Ambi. Ambi thought to herself, looks like I'm not going to get a chance to grow. This floor is so hard. How will I get inside the soil? Just then, the dog was called inside and she ran away. There was still some flesh left on Ambi. Above, on a tree, there was a crow that had been watching all this. As soon as the dog went inside the house, the crow came flying down, grabbed Ambi in her beak and flew away. Higher and higher and higher and higher, and soon she came down, 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 sat on a tree, kept Ambi between her claws and started eating up the rest. After she had finished, Ambi fell down and down and down. And you know where she landed? Yes, into soft, wet soil. And Ambi started to go inside. Inside, inside, deeper, deeper. And it was dark and scary. Ambi did get scared. But then she remembered what her mother had said. And so she settled down to wait. After a few days, roots started to grow. And soon, there was a tiny little shoot coming up and up and up and out of the soil. And there she was. She could see the sun, she could feel the breeze, and there was a drizzle falling down. Ambi was very happy. And as the days went by and it continued to rain, Ambi grew bigger and bigger and bigger, and soon she had lots of tender green leaves on her. But soon the rain had stopped and the sun was shining brighter and brighter, hotter and hotter, and there was no more water for Ambi, and she started to dry up. The leaves started curling up and drying up. Poor Ambi. Once again she thought to herself, looks like I'm going to die. But she heard a few voices. A couple of young girls were walking towards her. Hey, look, Rani, looks like we have a mango sapling. Really? Yeah, looks like one. Rani, why don't you call Amma? So Rani went inside to call her mother. Her mother came out. Ma, doesn't this look like a mango sapling? Yes, it is. Oh my, how nice. We'll have a mango tree in our garden. But look, she seems to be drying up. The leaves are all dry. But down, she's still green. We can still revive her. Rani, why don't you get the hose, please? Let's water her. And so Ambi was watered. And in the next few days, her leaves started to turn green again. Then she was given lots and lots of sweet smelling compost. And Ambi started to grow bigger. And she became bigger and bigger. Lots and lots of leaves started to grow on her. And as the days went by, she continued to grow. One day she heard one of the girls shout out to her mother, Ma, when did we get mangoes from this tree, Ma? Oh, for that you'll have to wait for at least 12 to 15 years. You know, it takes that long for the tree to grow up big, and then finally we'll get some mangoes to eat. That long? Oh, no. Don't worry, Rani. It'll take only about 15 years, and before you know it, the years would have flashed by, and we'll have lots of yummy mangoes to eat. Yes, can't wait for that day, said Rani. When Ambi heard this, she was very happy. Looks like she had found a lovely place to live in. Just like her mother had promised, she too would grow into a huge tree, and one day she too would have lots and lots of mangoes growing on her. Ambi settled down to live really, really happily. And that's where we are going to leave Ambi. That's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Thank you for listening. Bye.